thinking about what if, and I already got the disgusted look on my face. Nah.
Oh man. Oh man. So yeah, welcome everybody to the inaugural Multiverse Unlimited Podcast, man. This is it's been in the works for a while. We've talked about it, we've hemmed and hawed, and now we're here. Now we're here. We have a great ring of talent right now. We got a Quincy, you in the house, baby.
I'm here.
There he is.
I'm
There he
here.
is.
I'm ready.
Tosh, the quiet one. The quiet one. Oh man, Mike Jones.
What up? What up?
There he is. and Dr. Doom himself.
That's right. With Lou being
Ultra
extra
Doom.
smooth today.
That's it.
Ain't he sexy?
I'm gonna call you LL Cool Lou.
Don't do that. It may stick. I may like it.
Start licking his lips. It's gonna be over.
Oh,
right.
God.
it's a wrap. Because two out of five are bald right now. Mike, you're right
Right.
behind us.
Oh, no, my hairline's still tight though. I keep it low. I keep it low. And I'm the
Look
oldest
at your
one in this
hairline,
panel.
man. My hairline ran away from me a few years ago.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at
Man,
it though.
no.
We had
no.
a good run.
No, we had a good run. We hung out. We had a good
Right.
time. It was a sweet breakup. So it ain't what it ain't. Man, it's great. I mean, we've talked. We constantly text. We're on a group chat together, and everything's always good. To let all the listeners know, there are an abundance of other people that are going to be involved in this whole podcast later on in life. But right now, we have these guys, and we have me, and we're going to talk, and we're going to chit chat. We're going to have a great time. I'm going to apologize ahead of time because some things may not sit right with you. And honestly, we don't care because of the fact that we just want to talk about what we want to talk about. Right, guys?
Yeah, no echo chambers.
Exactly. Echo
Search your feelings.
Get right. All right. So, so we hit on What If? Marvel's What If. Now, there were 9 episodes. There were supposed to be 10. Did all y'all know that? There was supposed to be 10
No, I
episodes.
didn't
No, I
know.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I heard they pushed one to the next
Yeah,
season.
they pushed one to the next season. There was supposed to be 10 episodes. There were 9. And so overall, starting with Ultra Doom first, because I know he's gonna come out hot, and so we gotta
I ain't
cool
gonna
him
come
off
out
after
too
that. What do you think about that? What do you think about the whole season?
Well, I was talking about it earlier. I'm not that impressed with it. I mean, it's okay. It's a time waster. But I think now people might hate me for this one, but I think the MCU it's hit its peak.
Mm.
And now I think it's going to be very hard to get back to where we were. You know,
That's
after Endgame and all that, it's like, where do you go from here?
What's the letter
You
grade?
already had people crying in the theaters. I ain't finna do that again.
I did it. I cried.
I know you cried.
What's
I
the
know you
report
cried.
card, Jay? What's the report card? What you give the grade for the season?
I give it a good B minus.
Ooh.
No. Okay.
Mm.
I mean, it's
Okay, that's
passable.
strong.
It entertained me, but it's am I itching for another season? Not really.
Yeah, you are.
Maybe
You
if
want-
they had sticky cheese on there, I'd be down.
We had 2 episodes of Stinky Cheese.
Maybe
You
that's why
know.
I got B minus instead of a B.
All right, I can dig it. Hey, Mike,
Sir,
what you got, baby? How you feel about Marvel's What If?
I'll probably give it a C overall, honestly, and that's maybe a C minus. It really didn't do anything for me. The animation didn't do anything for me. Like the only 2 episodes I really enjoyed were I got my IMDb pulled up right now, and I can barely remember any of these episodes. The only one I
Really?
can really remember is like the Killmonger. I really enjoyed that one, and this last episode was really good. But the like I say, the Thor, that was terrible. Oh my god,
Yeah, that was trash juice.
yeah, that was horrible. The Doctor Strange wasn't much better.
Oh,
The
what?
what was that? The world lost its
Ooh,
mightiest heroes. I guess was somebody was trying to
ooh.
remember that at all. Uh, in the Marvel zombies, I'm just not big into zombies. Period. So
I can dig that.
in any genre, I'm not big into zombies. I don't watch anything zombie related really. So
I knew you had good taste, Mike.
yeah, oh yeah, we talk about the X Men all the time with the Hickman's
We
men.
do?
Jay and I, Jay and I do. You haven't enlightened yourself yet, sir.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh man. All
Now,
right. All
this is
right.
what I'll say. Wait, it was like now take the what ifs
Okay.
and the excitement you had to that compared to say like the Star Wars Visions. Star Wars Visions was extra dope
Yeah, we're gonna
from
get on
beginning
that.
to
I
end.
promise you. I promise you, we're gonna get on that because that was extra dope, top to bottom. Yeah.
When I compare that to What If, it's like I really want another Vision season, but What
But
If is like if I get that, whatever.
If it
visions
was more
and
like the
what if are
comics, I
apples and
want more.
oranges. Period.
Yeah,
Period.
true.
All
I'm gonna
right.
take that orange and throw that apple away though.
But let me go back to if the What If was more like the comic series and not so much trying to connect everything, just came out and told a story.
Exactly.
You know, we don't need everything to connect. Just tell a story. I don't
I
need
Just a
want to.
random cool story.
That's true.
yeah.
That's true. That's
If
true.
they just did that, I'd have been all right. Well, I ain't gonna say it'd have been better, but I didn't need it to come together at the end. Just didn't need that.
That's true. I can dig that. I can get down with that. Hey Tosh, how do you
Yes, sir.
feel?
I did not finish the whole season. I got about halfway through. I think the last episode I saw was the zombie one.
Oh,
I just I'm so far behind. I've been watching so much other stuff,
yeah.
but from what I saw, I enjoyed it. It wasn't too horrible. Um, the animation, it didn't look it didn't look bad to me, but I can understand why some people may not enjoy it.
Okay.
It
Okay.
was interesting to see how a character, let's say the Star Lord episode, for me that was entertaining, where T'Challa Star Lord and I'm forgetting the man's name, the one
Yandu?
who, no, the other gentleman who he said, "Oh, I'm Star Lord," and he goes, "Who?" In the Guardians of the Galaxy movie,
Oh,
I
the
forget his
Cree
name.
guy.
Oh, I can't remember
I
his
can't think of his name.
I can't think of his
It's
name.
killing me. It's killing me.
But
Yeah.
Kree,
he acts
Ronan.
like he just wants nothing to do with Star Lord in the movie. But in the show, what if he's just a Star Lord
He's a
fan?
fanboy. Yeah,
Yes.
out the gate.
So it was interesting to see those kind of dynamics for me.
Okay. All right, Quincy. And you're still butthurt about the Thor episodes because they turned him to an absolute wet sandwich, like for the rest of the whole
I'll
series.
never get that time. I'll never get that 20 minutes back in my life. And this is funny. This is weird because I'm kind of agreeing with what Jay was saying. I think some things just came off like poorly in this thing. Like the humor was misplaced in some episodes. Didn't like the humor in the zombie episode like at all. And I know where I'm coming from. I was a big fan of the '90s series. What
Yeah.
if,
Yeah.
you know, what usually happens in these stories? The good guys win. What if was about that balance? Like if somebody went left instead of right, all of this calamity happened. Like it's really sad stories. Doctor Strange was probably the best. That one came right out of a comic. Like
Yeah.
I seen some
Yeah.
truly tragic stories and What If, and I just wasn't feeling it at all in these. And the animation, I love the animation. I thought it was great. I thought it was unique. Loved it. But it would be I was nitpicking this, and I know it's the comic book guy in me that did this. But I it was okay. My kids wanted to watch it. Like
Mm.
more like they was reminding me. They're like, "Yo, What If song?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I gotta watch that." But to me, like Jay was talking about the like almost a plateau. Like I'm a little concerned about Marvel in this next wave because I don't. I feel like they're not going to be done with the Infinity Gems, even though the first it's the humor, it's the stories, and it was just too much change. They lost mainstays. They lost Cap. Thor's still around. They lost Iron Man, and they lost a story that was pretty well known to comic fans. You can be a casual, and everybody pretty much knows the Infinity Gems. I'm just concerned
But they didn't
with them
lose
right
that
now.
story because when he put Widow back, he dropped her into a Cap story.
He did, but it really didn't even matter to me. I was like, the last story was okay. Even then, like I liked it, but I was tearing it to pieces. I really was. Like he caught a virus. The guy who's shattering through realities with the Infinity Gem was rewritten.
Yeah, I want to touch on that. I
I was
want to
like,
touch on that.
like
Um,
one more thing, and we can move on. They've got to like figure out the power levels of these gems. Like they're all the way up here. Like he was doing stuff in there. Okay, so he killed Thanos last episode,
oh
but
yeah,
he was like wrestling with T'Challa in the last. Oh, like what the? I'm like consistency, guys. Consistency, like, and it's already gonna. They did a good job in Infinity War because they did not have guys that could stand up to him in a fight with the gems. Like, not like in the comics, they didn't have people around to do that. They did a good job putting in the. He's got to grasp his fist, and all. They did a good job with that. But in a cartoon, when you show him doing one thing, and then the next episode, it's just that's where I am with it. I hope I'm wrong with the Marvel. I'm still gonna watch these stuff, but this last project, I give it a C.
oh well, I can dig it. I respect it. I respect it.
You, you,
Um,
I don't be hating, but
no, no,
You just hate on mutants.
yeah, for sure.
that's because it's X-Men Avengers. We'll touch on that another time. But that's a whole nother bag of damn it. But um, me personally, I really enjoyed it. The animation style had its peaks and valleys. I think it peaked this episode, the last one, episode 9. It peaked on episode 9 because I really thought that they saved their best animation for the last one. The first one was good. It was almost flawless in my opinion. And then it kind of went up and down. Um, my favorite episode, entertainment wise, was definitely Star Lord T'Challa. Was my favorite entertainment one. When it came down to absolute action, I loved whenever Stinky Cheese was all over Thor. That was my favorite one.
You would love that one.
I did. And the whole time I'm watching it, I'm thinking to myself, J Pat is like, would you just get her off the screen, please? And it's not even Captain Marvel. It's just the fact that him and Stinky Cheese, he doesn't like that particular person as an actress in
I
that
actually
role.
don't like I liked her better as Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel. I don't like her as Captain Marvel. For some reason, like the character doesn't give me the same vibes.
Really?
Yeah. I don't
I
know
can dig
why.
that.
I
dig
can't
that
wait for
completely.
Rogue to eat her. She needs to be Rogue soon.
Wow.
Now that's malice.
Yeah, that's a little. That's some doomage. That's definitely doomage.
Set that up.
Overall, I would give it an A minus. An A minus. There were some plot holes that I had to do some page 5 digging on, especially when it came to the Infinity Gems, Infinity Stones, whichever way you want to go. The way that they were used once Ultron started punching through different multiverses. And the
I didn't get that either.
Yeah, and the only explanation that came out of it was the fact that once he punched a hole in one dimension, in one verse, is that it connected the other verses. Right? And so once that initial verse where he had full control of it was connected to another verse, he had control because they were touching.
See, that's a
said
Mr.
that?
Fantastic level stretch.
The writer.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna raise my hand in class. So this has everything to do with fandom. Now, the stuff that I've been reading over the last week.
Yeah.
So, and this is going to be like a pet peeve of mine because like it upsets me the the excuses that I've seen for the plot holes from fans. Not it's just they're willing to take that extra mile for Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, but like I've seen people upset in Batman versus Superman. Well, how did Lex know that he was Bruce Wayne? Like that's inconceivable. Like they can't. They're unwilling to give it the benefit of the doubt, like I do, like I see with Marvel movies, and like it. You know where I am with the Snyderverse stuff. I love that stuff, and I think it's top notch. But like most comic book movies have holes or stretches, or I think Snyder and some of his weakness, he assumes that people know certain things about certain characters, and like he just he doesn't take the time to explain it. And then like the excuses that I've seen online for why Ultron was able to kill Thanos with one stone to the five. And I did read that article you were talking about, Lou. I did read that. And I'm just in a bad place with this show right now. Like I really am. And it's not to say I didn't enjoy it. My favorite was Doctor Strange. I love that episode.
Yeah.
That was a what if issue right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Like with the sad ending and like
Perfect. It was
yeah,
perfect. That's why they brought him back for the very ending.
what ifs don't typically have happy endings. Like I may
No.
like be able to give you like one or two where everything was okay, but
Yeah.
they're tragic stories because the heroes always win. What if is like when the heroes don't,
Exactly.
But
you
Peggy
know?
never won though. Peggy was still going through the same thing that Steve went through. But
Well,
she was carrying the burden a lot longer than Steve did.
see, that's why I didn't really like. That was a good example. I like that one. I actually like that one a little bit. Okay, like, and I love Captain America: First Avenger. I love that movie. People hate that movie. I love it,
I don't
but
hate it. I like it. I
no,
enjoy it.
I see a lot of people that hate that movie. I thought it was like I don't count Avengers movies as part of the phases. I
Hate
like they're like
strong, but I
bookmarks,
didn't like it.
dude. I think that was the best one out of Phase One to me. Like I loved it. Thought it had
That
the
was
That
the best
best
has to
of the
be
worst
supporting
of
true.
the
cast.
phase one.
It had the best supporting cast. Like it was another unknown actor at the time who just destroyed the when not destroyed. He nailed the role as Captain America. I just thought
Oh,
First Avenger was great, but
oh,
people
Johnny
don't
Storm?
like it.
Hell yeah, Johnny
Yeah,
Storm.
yeah. My wife used to love him as fan and Mr. Fan as Johnny Storm.
But he was a good Johnny Storm. Let's give him credit.
He
He was.
was. He was a bright spot in those movies. He was a
But
bright
what
spot in
about
those
Michael
movies.
B. Jordan though? Ooh,
I never
Man, sit
watched those
down.
Oscar winner.
movies.
Sit, sit down, Doom. Sit down.
That might have been better than this Killmonger.
Oscar
Oh,
worthy, huh? He's ready, dude.
That was a good one too, though. If Killmonger and Stark, that was a good one too.
that was a good one.
It
You
was a
know,
good
oh,
one, but the title was terrible. It should have just been "What if Killmonger won?" That's all it needed to be. I don't like the title to it. What if he rescued Stark? Didn't I
okay.
just didn't,
I've
I didn't
I've
like the
read
title.
I've read a few things where people are upset that Killmonger is trapped inside of that pocket dimension. And the only reason they can come up with it is because of the fact that Killmonger just got played again. You know what I mean?
Why are they upset?
Exactly.
Oh man.
Exactly. And I didn't understand how he could fight back, how he was sitting there fighting with neither one of them have the stones, and they're both sitting there doing the pull back and forth.
and that was like the issue. Like Marvel wanted to get to certain what if situations, and there was like a what if before the what if. So the one where the Avengers got taken out, Pym is after them because his daughter was a Shield agent,
And that's
and she
and
like when the hell did that happen?
and that's where the whole what if thing comes from. It's a whole spin. I mean, they're taking stories and breaking them off independently, and they're not worrying about canon. They're not at all worrying about
They should
canon.
have did stuff with the old What If comic books.
That would have been
Yes,
better. Like what if those what if comics were like on a single moment? Like some of these needed two moments to get to the point they wanted to get to.
Mhm.
Right?
And it was like okay, so one of my favorites, what if the Silver Surfer had gotten the Infinity Gauntlet. That legit could have happened. He was this close from snatching the gauntlet from Thanos, but he missed.
Yo, yeah, he whiffed on that one.
Yeah, like that, like there was, like that was, it was on track for that to happen. It didn't need anything else to happen before that. I don't even know how the Surfer to this day missed. Okay, like he whiffed, and like it was laid out. Warlock had the plan. Thanos fell for it, and it's, I don't know how he missed. You know, he did.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he did, and it was a good story for when Surfer had the gauntlet. The Warlock was like, "Give me the gauntlet." Surfer said, "No,
Nope.
no, I'll take this, and we'll move on from here." You know,
No,
like
no,
stuff that
Norrin
actually
Radd.
happened. You know,
Yeah.
I can't think of it. Or what if the Avengers lost Operation Galactic Storm, and the bomb came through and Earth got destroyed? Like that story is one of the first Avengers stories that I've read early in my Avengers career, I'll say. And like that one gets overlooked. That was a great story. It's a lot of stuff,
Yeah,
moving parts with that, with
Yeah.
so
Shi'ar,
many good winners.
Kree, yeah, scrolls running around in the background, like, and it could have went either way. The bomb went off, but it was just where it went off and what if. And
Hmm.
you know,
I,
I gave somebody a what if scenario for the MCU, and it's like I think they wanted moments that were hard to get to me.
I think that the one hamstring issue that they had was that they were trying to do a what if MCU.
Yeah,
Hmm.
And that's where the issue is the fact that they have all of these years, 30, 40 years of actual what if information they could have touched on. And yes, it is the MCU, Disney MCU, one big happy mouse type of thing. And they went there. There were good stories, not great stories. There were good stories. In our honest opinion, they were for a casual fan to grasp onto.
Hmm.
It's pretty much it's a worm on a hook. It's chum in the water. It's trying to get people, generated into watching more movies and more TV shows. Now, was it good? Yeah. Was it fun? Yes. Did I love seeing Carol beat the snot out of Thor until he put the hammer on her chest? Yes. And that personally to me was a plot hole because she could have just changed into pure light or just phased out. That's just me. Jay. Yeah, look at you.
doesn't she have to absorb enough energy to do that?
No, she absorbed all the energy from that hammer, so she was good.
I
But
don't know about that.
yeah,
What?
I
Was
don't know
that
yes,
just
about that.
here?
I didn't know she could do
yes,
that. I didn't know one of her powers. She
Oh.
had.
Man,
she can
can't.
absorb energy.
Yeah,
Yes,
but you have to
But
be
she can turn the
directing the
light though.
energy towards her,
yeah.
right?
No, I mean she
And
she
she
was
and she
getting.
has problems with magic too. She can't just absorb magic.
As
She can't
Gar
absorb magic.
as
She
Goran
can,
Her
but it's
magic.
not. She doesn't. It's not like regular energy for her.
no,
It's an
it's not.
factor. Yeah, it
But
is.
is what Thor throws out is that magic?
Yes, he's
No,
magic.
he's a
Well,
god of
wait,
magic.
He's
is
a god.
Asgardian magic.
No, both of
He ain't
y'all go
shooting her with a
ahead.
laser pistol.
No, it
He's
was
hitting her
thunder. It
with
was
an
lightning.
enchanted hammer.
And this is the same dude
It's
that
not
yelled
Elon
"Viva
Musk. He
Las
didn't make a
Vegas" while
Tesla
shooting
Uh,
hammer.
lightning at
dude, and that,
at
oh my
Ultron.
god, I hated
That
that.
was a problem to me. They tried to make and I joke about Thor because I know it gets on Quincy's nerves. That's the only reason why I do it. And they completely vanillaed him out this
Yeah,
whole.
he did.
They frat boyed him out
It was
ever since his
disrespectful.
first episode, and it was disrespectful, but it was funny. And I think it served its purpose.
But they've been doing that to Thor though. They've been kind of playing him out like that.
Yeah,
Inconsistent
That's
power
why I didn't
levels
like
again.
Ragnarok like that.
he's
Like,
been a chump. They played him for a chump. We can admit that.
Avengers movies, he shines. Everywhere else is
he's a
suspect.
joke.
He's MVP in almost all the Avengers movies. The
Except his
first
own.
one, except in those. Now he did fight somebody on his own with an Infinity Gem in the second film, but I ain't gonna harp on my boy's ability
Because
to
in the movies he's pretty
overcome.
much muscle. He comes in to save the day. He don't have to talk a lot.
But
In
that's
his
what he
own movie, he
does.
has to carry his own movie. Then they don't give him enough to carry. He's just the pretty boy. But when he comes on screen in the big battle, he'll whoop somebody's ass.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
that's his thing.
he
Yeah,
got
but
outshined by
exactly.
Loki in every movie he ever did, though.
That's true. Character wise, he did.
Character wise, he did. We know that. don't, don't be that way, Quincy. Don't.
I love
Uh,
Thor though. Thor's one of my favorite characters.
Monty,
Oh,
yeah.
I hate the way they do him in the MCU.
he's been amazingly written for many years. Many years. He's been handled well on paper, but they put
Yeah.
him in the MCU, and they have kind of mishandled him.
yeah,
But like when he disappeared, what was it? Was it Ultron? And he just
Mhm.
ghosted out. He just waved his
Yeah.
hammer. I gotta go, and he was out.
They cut a part out of that movie. They cut a part out of that movie where he went to a spring or a well and he found out about the gems.
I remember that. Yeah,
And that's when he came back to the Vision and turned him on and he broke down the I don't know why they removed that part. It
I
seemed
don't
kind
get
of
it either.
critical.
Yeah, they snidered that one
there was
No,
completely.
there,
no,
there
no,
was
you
one
didn't.
scene from the comic that really needed to be in Age of Ultron. Is when Thor hit when they finally ran up on Ultron and Thor was just tattered and his clothes was ripped. And he was like, Ultron, we will have words with thee. I needed that scene bad because that was the best scene in that book for me. I was hyped. Oh, they getting ready to do it, and they didn't do it. It was like I needed that.
And this coming
I,
from an X-Man person.
but I love Thor too. I've been reading Thor as long. I'm a mutant. I mean, I got an X gene, but I
I
gotta
think the
respect
problem
Thor.
is I think the problem is a lot of these showrunners don't think very highly of comic books.
That's
They
true.
think that, oh, we're just going to take this kid stuff and we're going to do it better.
Yeah, they try to make
Meanwhile,
they try to improve a mousetrap.
right?
You know what I mean? But it's I don't want their job. It's difficult. They're trying to make 60 years of fandom happy.
That's easy though. I
No,
would
it's
love
not.
that job.
No, well, yeah.
Just take the stuff from the comic books and do it.
Right, this is
Don't make
ultradoom at
don't make Thor a
gmail.com.
sissy boy. Don't have Thor get stopped by electrodes in his own movie when he's
Yo,
the
yeah,
god of thunder.
Ragnarok is a whole
Like, come
nother
on,
bag
don't
of
turn him fat. Like, I'm
yeah.
fat. It's not fun.
Yeah, I didn't get that one.
It's not.
I didn't. You know, it's
I
not.
didn't
fun.
understand that.
Fun.
I can attest to that, but no, yeah.
Depression has an effect on everybody, man. He
Not
wanted
the
to
god
play
of thunder.
Xbox with Cord. Yeah, he's a
The
god
the
of
god of
beer.
thunder. If he's depressed, he's going to go kill some frost giants.
Yeah,
He's not going to eat bonbons.
yeah.
He's got
Oh.
places to go. He has options.
He's going
yes, I
to he's
agree
going to
with that.
murder people.
But he should have went for the head. He should have went for
He
the head.
should have.
He should have went for the
That
head.
was his fault. He deserved to feel upset about it.
I mean,
They should have killed some people.
comic Thor would have went for the head.
He
Yeah.
would've.
He went for the head in the comic. He hit him upside the head with the hammer a couple times, man. He almost killed them when they were on that platform in the comic, and Thanos had to cheat, turn him into glass. He like,
He
nah, we
cheated.
ain't.
He cheated. He had all the resources. You should call it cheating.
Oh, he was fist fighting everybody, and they was like, "No, I'm turning you to glass, man. You got me on my knees here, about to take me out. No, we done playing this game." But
Oh man.
it's inconsistencies. Like Avengers Thor is closest to the comic Thor, but anything in between, depending who's directing, man, what they ask for him.
Ah.
And that's why I'm not looking forward to this next Thor.
I'm gonna watch it. I like
I'm
Hemsworth.
gonna watch it, but I just know it's going to be another atrocious downplay of Thor.
See, and y'all hate Ragnarok. I love Ragnarok.
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
Ragnarok.
See, the problem is I enjoy Ragnarok. It's
Okay,
an entertaining movie, but they just play Thor so hard that I can't
because
stand
it worked. Like they to me, I think anybody who's following Thor in the comics, like what you saw earlier, that's what he is. But it wasn't translating to casuals or whoever. But the funny Thor, oh, people love funny Thor. They're like, you know what, we're gonna give him another movie. You know, he had a trilogy plus one. They were like, let's do it again. He almost got a new lease on life with that movie,
it. Yeah.
and they was like, let's run it back. I don't like, we may not agree. Like, I don't mind it, but that's what it is.
That yeah. It's it ain't. It's terrible. Everybody has their opinions. I can dig it. And I want to take a pause right now because I don't think Mike is recording since he came in late.
Joe.
There it is.
There
There
we
you
go.
There it is.
So, we were back on still talking about Marvel's What If and ups and downs of all things. Tons of plot holes, a missing episode. And that was the missing episode that really bugged me. Is because in the last episode, episode 9, they showed Tony and Gamora standing there on the ship, and nobody understood why they were there together. But I posted an article on the Multiverse talking about what happened. It was a COVID cut. Is what it was. They didn't have all the money and animation team to put all that together. And so they cut it. And it's a huge plot hole, which I was not happy about, but it was something that once it rolled on screen, I was like, what's this? But I loved Gamora. I loved her voice actor. And I love the animation did on her. I think they really handled her well. And Gamora gets mishandled a lot. I mean, especially from comic to screen, she got mishandled like crazy.
Yeah.
We can all admit that. Because she's the most dangerous woman in the universe. And all of a sudden, she's dumbed down to what they put on screen.
Very true.
So, I like it. I like her. She's one of my favorite characters of all time.
Who they mishandle more, Gamora or Taskmaster?
Taskmaster.
I can't vote in on that because I haven't watched Black Widow yet.
You don't need to then.
No, it's free now. It's free now.
Yeah,
so
as of October 6th. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna watch it because it's free now.
Taskmaster is one of my favorite villains.
He's amazing. I think that the fact that he can still tie his shoes at this point is amazing.
Right.
Because if people know Taskmaster, you know that once he remembers something, he forgets something in trade. You can't keep everything. And the fact that eventually he's going to forget his faculties. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that's where it's going to get messy. I can't imagine Taskmaster trying to fight with a diaper on. That's what bothers me.
I did not know that about Taskmaster. I really didn't.
But they got to take modern technology or modern knowledge into this now, because now we know our brains don't have a limit of storage.
Yeah,
our brains work on a quantum level.
Okay. See, I can dig that. I can get down with that. Thank you.
That's that nerdy stuff I be watching sometimes. You know.
Oh man, that's that jitsu.
Right.
That didn't even cheer up Tosh. That's sad. That's
I mean, Tosh is just sitting there chilling.
She's just like
they don't get to the anime soon.
No, you guys are doing fine.
She watching anime right now while we talking. She got some on the screen.
On the big screen, on the 72, she's watching.
She got hentai playing right now in the background.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Blue girl.
Oh my gosh.
That ain't even an HD. That's fuzzy hentai.
Pixelated, the old school,
right?
The old school, like the wavy stuff that you on the cable box where you push 2 channels and you had that was just me.
No, I remember. I'm old.
Anybody remember their first experience watching hentai? Mine was Legend of the Overfiend.
Of course. What else could it have been?
What? I was like, what the hell is this?
What is Doji? Yes. That was mind-boggling.
I was like, is that Hitler? Is that a giant sex machine? What am I about to watch?
How many does he have? How many? What is that?
Is that a demon? What's going on?
Yeah, Legend. Have y'all seen Legend of the Overfiend, or is that just old people talking? Have you seen it?
No, I'm with you.
Not.
I'm the same age, and I think I had a VHS, or a buddy of mine in the Air Force had a VHS.
Yes,
of that.
Legend of the Overfiend was my experience with something like that.
Yeah, that's some.
When I see Doji, little sex machine, that was amazing. I was like, "What is this?"
Oh,
have you watched the?
I thought of this.
Right now in Fayetteville, in my town, is a little hobby
Spit it out, Mike.
shop.
Come on.
I know it's kind of weird. It's a comic shop where they sell models and whatever. Right now, you can go in there and they're still selling the box set VHS of Legend of the Overfiend for like $150.
Yeah,
VHS.
Man, I shouldn't have thrown my away. I should have kept it.
I mean, for real, like who was first? Who had the VHS for $100? Come on, they still have it on the counter right now.
You got a VHS next to that PS2 you had in the closet when you dug your mic out. That's
hey, and there was 2 Nintendos up under that. If you saw it, was 2 NESs up under that. Yes. Yes, it was. I got Super Nintendo's everything in there.
Wow.
Oh
Treasure
man,
trove.
it's it. He's like, he felt like Link busting up
Okay.
with some
There was a Link
clay
game
pipe.
in there too.
Oh man. All right, staying on the Marvel tip right now because
Mhm.
they're just turning everything out. We're gonna get into Tosh's like sort of jam, right?
Uh-oh.
The Visions.
Doom,
Have you
doom.
watched all the
Visions.
Visions?
No,
No,
I've
you're
not.
killing me, Smalls. You're
I
killing me.
know. I'm so sorry.
Where do we find them at?
What? Oh, the Visions?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just go on. I'm not. We're not sponsored by Disney Plus, but you go on Disney Plus and you just look up Visions,
Okay.
and it's 9 mini episodes, and
Okay.
they're
Pick the
at
first two.
no, don't.
I thought you were talking
I was about to
something else,
reach
so-
out and grab all of that beard and just.
Yeah, I'd have let you too.
The first one is dope. The first one is real
First
dope.
one was amazing.
Yeah, and I think they put that out there, the first one, to get people sucked in because it sucked me in. The second one was trash. I'm just saying.
I didn't mind the second one. It was fun.
Who's watched
That,
it?
that
I
was
know-
the one with the rock stars. They were trying to be like rock
These
stars.
are Star
Yeah.
Wars like side stories. What are
They're
these?
not even canon stories. They handed some anime writers and anime animators Star Wars.
Mhm.
They said, "Here you go, run with it.
Just do what you want.
Just do what you want to do." And it's absolutely amazing stuff. The second one was kind of sketch because of the fact that it was just didn't make any sense to me, and apparently to Doom, it didn't make any sense because it just didn't. Up and down a wall. The rest of the story,
it was fun though.
it was fun, yeah, but the rest of them were amazing. There was one with a lightsaber maker. Remember that one?
Oh man, that was amazing. Yeah.
That was great. And then you had an episode where you had twins that were fighting over a kyber crystal, a gigantic kyber crystal. And man, the stories were just amazing. The animation was, Tosh, I really think you really should get on those. Mike,
I will.
You should watch
Quincy.
them right now.
Yeah,
For sure.
not right now. Watch your hentai.
Oh no.
Watch your hentai.
It's my first time hearing about it was tonight though. I had never heard
Really?
about it before.
It's
yeah.
Yeah. It was low key. I mean, it played second fiddle to What If because it dropped right in the middle of what when What If was going on.
You could do like a watch party.
I think
Ooh,
so.
yeah.
What's
Could
the
have been
what
watching
the
that
young
instead
kids
of
call
What
them now?
If.
The reactions.
How many minutes is each episode?
They average about 17 to 18 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
They're really short. They're really cool. The animation's great. The writing is good. You would get, I think personally, you would get a great feeling off of them because of how they've borrowed from different studios. Look at that. Hey, man. He's like, nope. Quincy's son in the frame. But yeah, Visions was great. Tosh, I think you should watch it. I think everybody should watch it because it just has a great feel to it. They just handed these people Star Wars and said, do what you want to do. And they did a great job. I mean, there's a lot of great animation. What episode was it, Jay, where it was a fight scene and it lasted no time? Like he unsheathed his sword and it was like,
Oh, yeah.
and then all of a sudden it was a wrap. And it's
which
just like
one
a
was that?
classic anime scene. It was the elder. It was the elder.
Yeah. Is that the one where they were taking the girl and not the rabbit girl?
No.
Rabbit girl?
This was the one where the Jedi Master and the Padawan landed on a planet.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
And the old dude that
The old dude was there. And
yeah,
the little black kid with the little Padawan braids.
Yes, and he whipped him. The old dude whipped him. I mean,
The
just
old dude was no joke.
zero. He had zero cares in his pocket and just wailed on old boy. And he's like,
yes, I beat you. Your master's gonna come out.
He sat there in the rain waiting for his master to come out. And that was an amazing fight. Visions.
And he did the one thing I always wondered why people never, but people never would do in the lightsaber when he turned off his lightsaber
Yep.
to turn it back on and stab him.
Yes.
I was like, what? I was like, I always wonder why nobody ever did that before.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was really good writing. I mean, seeing as how 2 out of the 5 have watched it, and I'm kind of disappointed in Tosh because it's an anime thing.
I'm so sorry.
I know, man. I'm surprised Tosh ain't watch it.
I know, right?
I'm watching so many different things at once, and I saw Visions. I was like, I'll get there.
Well,
let me finish this first.
Well, while we're on that, Tosh, what are you watching on the anime side of the house?
Currently, I know nobody is going to know what this is. It's a show called March Comes In Like a Lion. So it's about a high schooler who's become a pro shogi player. And it's basically a slice of life with that kind of a show. Because the summer season had just ended with anime. When we say summer seasons, it's simulcasted. So we have shows that'll start in beginning of June or July. They'll usually end around the towards the end of September, beginning of October, and new shows are just starting to roll around. So last Saturday was the premiere of Yashahime, which is the it's not even a reboot or spinoff, I guess a continuation of Inuyasha, following Inuyasha's daughter with Kagome and Sashomaru's twin daughters. Part 1 aired, I think, around this time last year. So now part 2 is up. And again, only 1 episode has come in so far, and it's okay. They're still finishing off what happened at the end of the last season, so nothing huge has happened yet to kick off this second half. Other than that, there isn't too much that hasn't started up just yet that I'm interested in. The next full part of Demon Slayer is not happening until December.
Okay.
So what's happening is they're redoing the Demon Slayer movie, which was called the Mugen Train arc. And that released in theaters back in April? Maybe even a little later than that. No, sometime during the summer. So they're kind of doing what happened with Dragon Ball Super when it came back, is they took the movie and split it into episodes.
Okay.
So they're kind of doing that now with Demon Slayer, where they're going to have one brand new episode to preface what's happening in the train arc. So I can't really say I'm watching that right now because I don't want to rewatch the movie again just yet. It's still fresh in my head, and I'm gonna keep it spoiler free, but my feelings were hurt in the movie.
Gotcha.
Okay. Demon Slayer is one of the only anime that actually got me a little emotional.
Oh, word?
Yes.
Yeah, that scene where he was remembering his dad's fire dance.
Oh yes.
I was like, whoo, it was pulling at my heartstrings a little bit. I was like, and then the art was amazing.
The animation's beautiful in that show.
I tried to jump on. They
have the show up on Netflix for you to check.
I was like, whoo.
I tried to jump on. We were on vacation this summer, and we had like 2 hours of nothing. And I tried to get on Demon Slayer, and I watched like 1.5, 2 episodes, and it was like cold oatmeal, man. It was just.
Oh no, that's a show with the 3 episode
and that's
rule.
What somebody
you gotta
said,
keep going.
Like a month after that, I was talking about it, and they're like, "You got to push through the first 3. Once you get past the first 3, it's great." I was like, "Man!" And so every time it's in my queue, and so every time I turn on Netflix, it's like, do I want to do this? Nah, really, I just don't.
Yes.
You know,
Demon Slayer, that's one of my favorites.
I'm gonna push through it. Because it looks amazing. I mean, it's got great. You know, I measure things off of memes, and if you've got a lot of great memes, then of course it's probably going to be a great thing going on. And I love their figures. They have a lot of great, beautiful statues that have come from that. So, but yeah, what is the release schedule? I mean, I know you mentioned that new stuff rolls out in the summer and then in the fall also. Is that like a constant thing with anime?
Yes, so it's only recently where technology is advanced enough that we can get anime as it's aired in Japan. Now, granted, it'll take maybe 2 or 3 hours so that people can put the subtitles on them. But for the most part, we get them the same day as they do in Japan. So the seasons, quote unquote, is the anime normally has like a 12 or 13 episode run, and they'll normally last the entire actually physical season. So springtime, summertime, fall time, wintertime. So with what's happening with the fall season is shows will start at the end of September, beginning of October. And by the time we hit episode 12 or 13, basically the season finale, it'll be the end of December, beginning of January. And then new shows and seasons of things that we're expecting will then start up at that point.
Oh, okay.
Or shows that have 24 or 26 episode runs, they'll continue on through the next season.
Okay. Yeah, I try to get down. I try to get down and watch them. Not really get down, but I get down with anime. I love anime. I'm with Mike. You know, I'm a dubbed person. You know, I don't have I multitask, and I think Doom J Pat's the same exact way. He turns on anime and just listens to it sometimes, right?
Sometimes I do. I do watch the dubs. I don't know if that takes away some of my anime cred, but I do prefer the dub.
Yeah. I do it because I multitask. I have 2 young boys that run around the house.
Exactly.
And you have to be able, if you want to enjoy things, sometimes you have to, sometimes you have to drink, like I tell my wife, sometimes you have to drink coffee warm. Sometimes it can't be hot.
And dubs aren't as bad as they used to be. Dubs they're getting pretty good.
That's
they
what we hit on earlier. That's exactly what we hit on earlier back in the 90s when they first started hitting.
They were terrible.
Exactly. But now they have good voice actors. These dubs are really good now. I mean, I don't really see any reason. It's got to be something I really want to watch to make me watch it subtitled. I really got to want to watch it, like a Macross or something. That's the only way. If it ain't,
yes, Robotech callback. That's awesome.
Yeah,
like Macross 7. I think that's one of the most amazing Macross series they have, and that's one I love that anime. And if you give it a try, you're talking about pushing through Demon Slayer. You got to push through the first 10 of those, but after that. Number 11 on down, it's good, but it's subtitled. I dealt with it because I love that Robotech Macross universe.
Yeah, that's just our generation, though. That's where it all. I mean, I think that's where they kicked open the door back in the the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
Between Voltron and Robotech, they kicked open the door and said, "Hey, here you go. Here's something that you guys have never seen," and we just gobbled it up. In my opinion, I loved it.
Of course, yeah.
In my opinion.
Oh, I have to take a break for a second, guys. I gotta go on daddy duty. Junior's taking advantage of me. I know he's supposed to be in bed, but
all right,
he's playing something.
There you go.
I'll be back.
All right, we're back in.
I mean, you out of breath? Was it that rough? You all right? You clean evidence up?
He was not trying to go.
He had to handle it. We were just talking. We were talking off mic about the direction that Marvel should go. Mike thinks that the X gene is going to save the world, and Quincy hit him with a bat and said, "We're just going to clean up."
He hit it with a fly swatter.
We're not going to revisit this because
it's a constant.
We've done it for 10 years. Why not?
It's true. That's true. It's a constant. I think off-world stories, like I said, off-world stories, cosmic stories, are going to be where they go next. They may go with the X-Men. They may stay on planet Earth and completely reboot the whole thing and just focus on them. You know what I mean? But the X-Men are going to have a big play, in the next 10 years of what's going on. So
they need to figure out how they're actually going to introduce them.
They do.
Yeah, that's a problem that they need to figure out. Fantastic Four, that's easy.
How?
But X-Men.
How is that easy?
because they got their powers from space, cosmic storm. Like that can happen at any time.
And
Yeah,
that's
they can
easier
go
Like
than
through.
being born with a power. I mean, that's easier.
yeah, yeah. Because if you're gonna have mutants, where have they been? Like the MCU has gone all the way as far back as World War II. Like there have been no reported, like they gonna do what they do and rewrite something, but like, is it gonna be believable?
I can see
Like
that.
What
we,
retcon is believable in the
like
first place?
well, what I'm talking about, like sometimes Marvel, they'll go back over things and make it make sense with like the next series or the next movie. Like I can't even give you an example right now, but like mutants aren't something that's easily introduced into the MCU right now. Like where have they been? Where have they
I
been?
think
Like what's going to be the catalyst for them to
the
suddenly appear?
Eternals.
All these variants.
The
Ooh,
snaps.
Well,
Ooh,
like
this
Maybe.
the
where I mean, yeah,
the
The
snap.
but
sacred
I'm
timeline has
guessing.
been
I don't
shattered.
really know.
to me, like there are pieces of the Fantastic Four like are around. Like they can write it any way they
Hell,
want.
Kevin.
They never said who bought the Avengers building. You know what I mean? Like Reed could be a scientist now. They could all have their careers right now and take the shuttle or whatever into space and get their powers. That's how they got their powers.
I thought the Avengers building got bought by like that Halloween superstore, right?
It should.
But yeah, but
I'll take that back. Movie Avengers are my dudes, but actually, comic Avengers right now I love right now. It's just me and
it's a
Quincy.
good group right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
it's
good
just
group.
fun. It's just fun messing with you. That's all. Yeah, that's all.
I think the Eternals are
I
going to
don't
be
have too much of a
the
problem with that.
Eternals are going to be the hinge, the turning point for some odd reason, and they're pretty much in the gray. Nobody really knows what's going on with the movie. There's not a whole lot of press
The
about it.
Eternals are going to be like the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I mean that in a good way. Because the Guardians of the Galaxy, unless you were a hardcore comic head, you really didn't know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were.
Exactly.
And
And yeah, I agree with you. And I, to your point, I think comic book characters that don't have like a hardcore fan base and have like a lot of wiggle room, like you can do almost whatever you want with them,
right,
and like nobody's gonna be upset. Say like if you make Thor funny, you're gonna upset
you're gonna
people.
make people.
You know what I mean? Like nobody. Guardians of the Galaxy. I remember at one point the decision was Inhumans or Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be the movie that they were going to go. I know the Inhumans. I didn't care about the Guardians of the
And I'm like,
Galaxy.
who's gonna care about Guardians of the Galaxy? Why? I said, why?
And
Why did they do that?
see, back then when I thought of that team, I thought about the team before this current
What
team
Jan doing
Right,
them?
with
with
Yeah,
like yeah,
what?
like yeah, that's who
Vance
I thought
Astro
of.
and yeah,
Yeah,
no,
all those cats,
yeah,
not
yeah.
this new team.
The one from the
And I was like, I
'90s.
want Inhumans. Yeah, yeah, like I want Black Bolt. I want the Inhumans. But they took a risk and it
they
worked
took that
out.
08, 012 team and they made
Mm-hmm.
an amazing thing, and that's my favorite team. I mean, hands down. I own that whole comic run. That's one of the few. That's one of
Hmm.
the few that I kept out of my boxes
Mm-hmm.
that didn't sell. So I think
Yeah, it's a good decision by them back then.
And maybe the Eternals is going to be the same thing because it has that kind of potential to just. It has no real back. I only know two things. Icarus. All I know is his name is Icarus. That's all I can tell you. I don't know nothing else.
I know Cersei because she was an
I know
Avenger.
that. Just her name.
Yeah,
Power wise, I couldn't tell you
yeah, a
that.
powerful Avenger.
And there's a guy from Fayetteville going to be in the movie. That's all I can tell you. That's all I know.
Yeah, and Black Knight's going to be in it, which
Oh, really?
is curious. Yeah,
the sword and everything.
I don't know about the sword, but that's who Kit Harington
Mm-hmm.
is
Oh
playing.
yeah.
Dane Whitman. Yeah, that's who he's playing.
Oh, Jon
But
Snow.
how they going? Well, I guess they already did explain Thanos away. I guess it's not. He's not a. You know. What's it called?
Eternal.
Yeah.
What's
what's it called?
What's their
Gene?
race
Yeah.
called?
what's
Oh,
the
Titan.
gene called? No, it's
What they're supposed to fight against in the movie.
deviant.
Deviant. He's supposed to be a deviant
Yeah.
of the Eternal.
Mm.
Oh.
In the comic books, he is.
Yeah, like the Inhumans and like they're all like related. Like
We're all basically like celestial poop or something.
yeah, like Kree and like Eternals, like all of them guys are like related somehow.
The Kree are just like hoes. They've touched everything, right?
Man, they how are the Kree connected to the
Stinky
Inhumans?
cheese.
And I can't even think of how they. Whatever. I'll look
How the
at them
Kree
up.
involved
Now
in
it's
the
gonna
humans?
bother me.
If it,
Well, they're connected with them somehow, like genetically.
according to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they came down and did modifications many years ago and developed the Inhumans. They started playing with the human race.
Blue area of the moon.
Yeah.
Now, wasn't it because the Celestials are basically the parents of life on Earth, right?
Yes.
Right.
So like the Celestials are like they're the birth of the humans, the Eternals, and the Deviants, right?
Yeah.
Mutants too, supposedly.
Right.
They introduced the X gene in humans, supposedly.
They needed it, so.
but yeah, the Kree came down. They started messing with DNA, and they developed the Inhumans, which are kind of like, for all intents and purposes, they're like mutants. They're like watered down mutants. They're like the Weilers versus Kool-Aid of
the Great Value.
Exactly,
mutants.
the GB mutants. It looked the same, just don't taste the same. Gotta add a little bit more sugar to it.
I'm gonna give you that in the MCU or the TV shows, but the Inhuman comics, I really enjoy like that. Paul Jenkins, was that the writer who did that comic back in the day? When that was it? J. Scott Lee was it J.
Scott Lee? Yeah,
the penciler. That Inhuman run was really good. Now when they tried to translate that to the screen to the spinoff of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that was terrible.
They need to redo that.
You can't even call that Weilers. You just cut the. You can't even put a name on that Kool-Aid. It's just no skip Kool-Aid, whatever it is. No,
but trying to translate Black Bolt into a human or a talking part or just a person that you have to look at is hard because the man can't talk. That'd be the hard part. And I remember reading, I forget which comic it was, where he screamed on Thanos. And the way that they wrote that particular comic, Thanos took it.
Yeah,
I remember that. What book was that? I remember that.
That was Infinity. The Avengers. It was during that.
It was like 2013, 2014 sometime.
Yeah, the Avengers were off-world, and he came down to Manhattan, somewhere. I don't know how they ended up together. They're fighting, but it was during that time. I remember that.
Yeah, he screamed on him, and Thanos looked at him like, "What? What are you trying to do?" And I don't know. The Inhumans were always just an offshoot to me. I mean, one of the first comics I ever read was a Wolverine comic, and I know that's Mike's favorite character of all time. Is Wolverine.
I used to love Wolverine into the movies. I really did. Yeah. I had Wolverine poster on my wall in my bedroom for years, up until the movies, when they just pretty much played everybody else out to make him look good. And it's like that's disrespect.
That definitely happened.
Yeah. Yeah, the first one was all right because it wasn't that bad with the Wolverine. But after that first one, and they realized he was the ticket.
I liked the second one.
The second one was when it should stop. It was disrespectful after that. It was terrible. They killed
trash juice.
Nah.
The first two had potential. I didn't mind any of them. Like when you're hungry, you eat.
If we get hit by lightning.
No, that was corny as hell.
Well, that was
bad.
Yeah.
I have to admit.
Yeah, that was bad. I give you that one.
It's all that bad. They're all terrible.
Yeah.
I like Days of Future Past. I like that one. And I thought First Class was one of the best movies.
I didn't understand. I didn't understand half of that. The guy who's supposed to be indestructible. and he died.
He died. The first one to die
Yeah.
too. Like, really?
I didn't like Mystique being part of the team like that. I didn't like that either. Her being just on the X-Men, like I'm the leader. Mystique. I didn't like that.
That was a bad right.
Dude, I like what's that? Jennifer Lawrence. I love her.
I love the character.
I got tired
love
of
the
her
character.
after those movies.
I didn't like the way that they just like instantly.
She was their Wolverine. She was that generation.
She was
Wolverine.
the raisins in the potato salad. Is what it was. That's exactly what it was to me.
Both statements are correct. Both statements are correct.
It was just too much of her. It was too much of her.
Yeah, she didn't need to be the center point of the movie.
She did not.
Mystique. It's like they were looking at her with short. Mystique is here. Who cares if Mystique is here? Gives a shit. Mystique. I just don't
That's not Mystique. Rebecca Romaine Stamos is Mystique. I don't know who you trying to throw up in here. It's like trying to replace Lamont on Sanford and Son. You just can't.
Sanford and Son.
You can't do that.
That's not Lamont.
Who's this?
That ain't Lamont.
No. But man,
the Jefferson. I like the first Lionel better. No, it's what it is.
Exactly.
You gotta be old to get that one. That's an old joke. That's an over 40 joke.
You gotta be real old.
Well, it was. I think the mutants will definitely, turn it around. I don't know how they're going to be handled.
I mean, they have to. They spent too much money not to have them. We want to get all of them, but
you think
it just got to handle it.
Are they going to borrow from Hickman and his 18 years of?
I hope not. No, I hope. Thank you, Jay. Please, somebody else talk logically. No, they don't need to help. Hickman was not the one.
Hickman did not write bad stories. He wrote long stories, but he did not write bad stories.
Maybe he's leaving before he got to the good part because I ain't seen it yet.
He check out before.
What would be worse, borrowing from Ta-Nehisi Coates for Black Panther or Hickman for X-Men?
Ooh, no.
Yeah, because you did not like Coates. I promise. You like
Coates is wordy. It's like the OG Thor comics. You would talk about wordy. Those were ultra wordy.
I don't
put rape camps into Wakanda. I was like, oh Lord.
I don't think he didn't get the first series. He didn't get it. The second one, when he went into space, he was getting there, but
he was getting there,
but he still never quite got it.
What exactly? Now I was in the middle of reading an Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda. What happened in that story? Like he went into space, lost his memory.
Yeah, well, it's a whole big clusterfuck. It's terrible.
Somehow Wakanda sent people into space, and they went through a wormhole, and they founded another Wakanda in space.
Yes, I remember that part.
The space-time dilation made it seem like when they left, it's been like thousands of years since they left, even though it was like last month.
Right.
Okay.
So they had time to build like an entire civilization based
and
on
there's a Charlie Fox right
Wakanda.
there. That's where you start getting into wonky time stuff. You lose people.
Right.
You lose.
They created a whole other Wakanda, and then T'Challa, I forgot, I don't even know how he got there. I can't even remember how he ended up.
He went searching for the people.
For the people that was okay.
He caught
and
a
then
space
he got
Uber,
caught up.
is what he did. It was
he got caught up in
so
it.
He ends up getting there. And when they find out he's actually like T'Challa from the original Wakanda, they wipe because they have this technique where they wipe people's minds. So they're like they call them like the Forgotten or something. So they basically use them as like slave labor.
I saw up to when he went back to Earth.
Yeah, he ends up getting back.
Okay.
He ends up regaining his memory.
Uh-huh.
Comes back, but it's dumb.
Okay.
It's never T'Challa being like the most badass dude,
which he is.
He's always like kind of like relying on somebody else to.
The ideas were good, but the execution was poor, and he mishandled T'Challa completely. Yeah. I think if anybody else who had those ideas, it could have been better. Like we said before, Jay. Who did we say before? Christopher Priest. Is that what we said before?
Oh, Priest.
If Priest could have had those same ideas, it'd have been much better.
Yeah, Priest's run on Panther is historical. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. I'm missing all but one issue. Issue 50, if you got it. Somebody out there, send it to me.
If I see it, I get it.
Okay. Well, sounds like I didn't miss
You
anything.
didn't.
No,
You
you
did.
No.
And
I collected them only because I collect Black Panther.
That's it. I stuck with it.
it's tough, man. It's like eating some dry old crackers with nothing, no water.
It's like reading Krakoa books for me. I'm sticking with it just because I'm an X-Men fan. Just because I got an X gene, but damn it, it's painful.
You're right. The Krakoa stuff is oh man.
Excalibur is is literally, it's like sticking needles in my eyes. It's so painful reading that book right now. It is. That was better than reading itself. It was really. It's not doing it. No.
What's the
That's-
joint with I can't remember which one it is. They're on a spaceship. The one that's
They're on the ship, the Marauders.
no, the one that's circling the Earth. Or
Oh, Sword.
Sword.
yeah.
Sword.
Every time I read that, I go to sleep.
I did
Yeah,
make
it's boring.
issue 2. I stopped after that. I didn't do it anymore.
I think I got issue 3, and after that, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, they try with Sword so
They
hard.
try to put life back into him, but it's like you're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're putting raisins in the potato salad, and I can't dig it.
Sometimes things don't. Sometimes certain characters, organizations, whatever, they don't need a magazine. They're
Brand
like
does
support
not need her
characters.
own. She doesn't need to be a lead.
Some characters I think that just thrive that way. Like I love Hawkeye. I don't think Hawkeye needs his own story, even though I don't think he needs his own mag. Like he's a good Avenger on his own, like not on his own, but as a supporting character. I just don't think everybody needs a magazine.
I can agree
I
with
don't
that.
think Sword needs a magazine. Like I don't think Shield needs a magazine.
I can see
Like,
that.
they just need to be there when you need them.
That's
Like,
true.
Support.
Yeah, it's like duct
I
tape.
just
It
like-
exists, and then you just need it, and then you put it back.
and then they go back. Yeah, just go back.
I don't get it either, but comics are fickle, man. I mean, that's part of the reason I started reading a lot of independent books.
Yeah, me
Was
too.
because of you, Jay, and all the recommendations that you gave me, and the writing is so much better, in my opinion. And I think the writers and the artists, all in my personal experience and research, they get treated better. You know what I mean?
hmm
And the stories are just more pure. And there's a lot of them out there, and there's
a lot of great
a
stuff.
lot
too.
of great stuff. And the one that I'm stuck on, that I'm always looking for, is correct me if I'm wrong, they only find us when we're dead. Is that it?
Yeah, yep.
And that's
I think they're up to like issue 8.
yeah, that's amazing stuff. That's amazing stuff. You have to constantly flip back and forth from the page you just read to the page you're reading. You're like, what did I miss? And you're like, oh, that's what I missed. It's in a corner. And you're like, oh, I missed this little snippet of information. And what's the other one? The Secret 7? Is that the one?
The
The Seven Secrets. That was crazy. That's really good stuff.
Did you ever get a chance to get into Excellence?
No.
That is real. Like you'll dig. That.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything about it, but if you can find Excellence,
Okay. I'm gonna get down with that. I'm reading that Cho book. What is it? Is it Fight Like a Girl or Girl Fight? I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head.
I haven't heard that one.
Cho doesn't do a whole lot of great writing. I mean, nothing against him. The man's amazing. But his drawings, his artwork is what draws me into his books.
Yeah, Frank Shirley. Yeah, his stuff
is great. I mean, I think they're probably, like I said, nothing against him, no slams, but he probably has maybe 200 words in his whole book. But the rest of it is just great to look at. I mean, it's just drawn perfectly. And that's what draws me to these indie books. And it's just nothing against the big two. Marvel, DC, you have great stuff going on, and it keeps us coming back. But the indie stuff is where I'm at because of the stories and the fact that other people I can bring out. I had a good friend, one of my oldest friends in the world, who's actually a comic artist. He came and visited me, him and some of my other friends from high school came and visited me a couple weeks ago. And we went to a comic shop, and him and I both went in there and went straight to the indie rack. And he was like, "Do you read this?" Like, "Yeah, I did." And we just started nerding out right there. And the other friends are like, just like high school, because that's just all it was. We just started talking about all these indie books and how we're trying to gravitate. We stick with the big two. Of course, they have the traditional stuff that we read, but we just try to gravitate toward new stuff because he draws independently. A couple of other friends from high school draw independently, and it's just great stuff. It's really, really good stories, and I really dig it.
Here's my thing with indie books, and nothing against them, and I'm down for any of them. Is I feel like I got burned a while back with Image. When they first went that burned me a lot. I like Marvel and DC because love them or hate them, their books are going to be out on time for the most part. And a lot of time when you get in this indie world, they get there when they get there. And I don't want my book to be there. When I'm ready to read, I want to wait 6 months to find out. I don't forget what happened. I need my book to be there. You know, that's my one issue with, and that's actually it's my only issue with indie books is right there. I just need if I got a book that they could be on time or monthly or bi-monthly, I don't care, but on schedule, ain't got no point. I'm cool.
Yeah, I can respect that. I can respect that completely. You know, and
has anybody thought about why manga is blowing up so hard? Why it's just like totally eclipsing American comics?
No.
Is it?
Yeah, manga is outselling American comics by a lot.
Really?
Right now, like in the millions. Like it's like.
Do you have an insight on that? Do you have an inside track about why, or is it just like a trend?
I've been thinking about it. I didn't know if anybody else has been thinking about it, but it's kind of wild right now.
It's the cool thing right now.
It's not really surprising. Like I don't Marvel and DC right now. It's just recycled stories to me right now. Nothing really groundbreaking.
I think
Reboots, resets, whatever you want to call it.
That are
a lot of that
right
going
now.
on.
Think it's because of the shows, Tosh?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Huh?
No,
you're fine. Yeah.
A lot of the shows that are airing right now, those are the manga books that are soaring in sales. Like with Demon Slayer, Food Wars when it was out, My Hero Academia for sure. Anything that's become a popular anime in the whatever season, the current season, previous season, anything that's getting, at least 40 or 50 episodes, those are the books that are blowing up. Attack on Titan blew up for a bit too.
Outsell the entire American comic industry.
Like it was like crazy. After the season ended, and so like 2 years ago, I think it did.
Word?
Oh yeah!
Wow. Yeah, wow! I gotta look into that. That's amazing. Because I'm big on Attack on Titan. They kind of lost me, but I'm kind of get back into it. My Hero, I can't not watch that show. My 6-year-old, he promised me, like I told you guys, he promised me that he said, "Listen, Dad, promise you won't watch this without me." I was like, "All right, I won't watch it without you, but I'll watch other things without you." Man, but that's the manga outselling American comics. It's not surprising because the world's getting smaller. It's like Tosh said earlier, the world's getting a lot smaller with the internet and a 2 or 3 hour delay between the show airing and them throwing up subtitles. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Here's my thought on it. Is it going to maintain it? Like I say, these books have been around for 60 years. To a lot of young folks, they just seem old. And anime and manga or manga, whatever, it seems new and it's exciting to them. But is it going to maintain? Are they going to be there in 20 years for that? I mean, maybe they are because Dragon Ball Z is still around. There's 300 million episodes. Shit. I mean, I just don't know. I used to read. I used to read a lot of manga. It just doesn't keep me. It just don't.
Yeah.
It's not really. People make it sound like it's better. It's not that it's better to me.
It's the same. I mean,
there you go.
Yeah,
it's the same. I make my son so mad when I tell him that My Hero Academia ain't nothing but Japanese X-Men.
It's just Japanese superhero.
No, he looks like he wants to fight me for real when I tell him that.
And you're looking up at him like you don't want smoke.
No, that's the little son. That's the little son, not the big one.
Okay.
But no, it's like I said, son, how did they get the powers?
I don't talk like that to him.
No, I talk like that to him too. But he ain't into any of that. He's in the band. He plays music. He's a musician. He ain't into any of this stuff. That kid plays in the band. But like I say, I'd say, how did they get their powers? They're born with them, right? Who else is born with them? The X-Men are. It's just they go to school, don't they? Who else goes to school? The X-Men do. It's just anime X-Men.
Oh man,
he hates when I tell him.
I'm hating hearing you say that.
But am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Tell me what point. Exactly.
You're not wrong.
You're just out of line.
Yeah. Grab the steering wheel, Jay. Put him back in his lane. No, I
I don't know.
go ahead, Jay.
Okay. I don't know. I think I don't know. I think like part of why manga is blown up is because they have a consistency that American comics just aren't having right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like how many times have we had another reboot, another crisis, another #1 popping up?
Just 2 months
It's
ago,
like
3 months ago from DC.
yeah. So it's like these animes are just like they have a consistent character arc, power levels build up consistently. America, like when's the last time anybody from the X-Men or Avengers developed?
Mm.
Like
Okay.
Captain America's been Captain America for 50 years.
Mm.
Granted.
Nothing new. Same
Yeah,
shit.
Batman been 35 for 60 years now.
Right. Batman's still doing the same old. Nobody developed nothing new. Batman ain't get a superpower. He's been around all these people for so long. He should have got some kind of mutagen.
Exactly.
But
Something should have happened to
here's the
somebody.
thing with that though. Eventually, even if they do it, like let's go back to JMS's Spider-Man. He did all these with the totems, and Aunt May found out that Spider-Man was her nephew for all these years, and it was a lot of amazing stuff. If you didn't read JMS's Spider-Man, it's a great run. When Moreland first took on the scene, Moreland, or however you say it, that he was one of the most terrifying comic book characters I've ever read in my 30-something years of reading comics. He was terrifying when he read that first time he ran up on Spider-Man. But when it got to a point where fans couldn't handle it, they did what? They did Brand New Day, which brought it right back to center.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. They bring it back to center. If you do something, keep it there.
Mhm.
You know, you don't need to bring it back to that center.
Yeah, and I was a huge Spider-Man fan, but there was no development
Mhm.
for me at one point. He was stuck in the one spot, and to your point, when they tried to go do something new, they always bring it back.
They always bring it
They
back.
They
always
got to keep it
always
safe.
bring it back.
They keep it safe, and that's the whole thing.
Well, it's for the next generation. You don't want them to lose what has always been. DC does it. Marvel does. Everybody will do it. You can't stray too far from it
Nah.
because that's not.
But I'm gonna tell you one comic that I do enjoy, and I think he has evolved is Superman. I love Superman
He
for
has.
the relationship between him and his son.
Yes, preach it, brother.
I couldn't tell you not one story, but damn it, I love to see Clark Kent and Jonathan Kent together.
Yeah.
That is amazing writing.
Yep.
Since Man of Steel, Superman has been great.
Oh yes, it has.
Yes, that's what
For the
I read
last,
the
like,
first couple
5
when
years.
I fell
Mhm.
off, but I read the first couple.
Mhm.
But when I think of Clark and Jonathan Kent,
Mhm.
Ken Rockefort, he did a couple of covers back in Rebirth with for Superman, and him,
Mhm.
Clark and Jonathan right there. It's like, oh my gosh. I've been trying to find. I want to buy a print of it because I just love the fact. I love the way that Rockefort portrays them. Their relationship.
And then their artist Reyes,
Yes.
whoever, that dude is amazing. Like his art is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know why he doesn't get more shine, but he's like top tier.
Yeah, and if he could put a whole book together, oh my gosh, Rockefort did some great work with what was that? The Outlaws. He did a bunch of outlaw books back in the day, and I loved all that work. But I'm pretty sure that's probably what burned him out. He did a lot of covers. He still does a lot of covers, man, but he doesn't do a lot of front to backs. But yeah, Superman, he's evolved, and a lot of people say, Superman's boring. He's this, he's that. It's like, know what? You can say what you want.
Like we could tell you don't read the comics.
Exactly.
You don't read the comics.
Exactly.
But Superman isn't about the power; it's about the man.
Yeah.
That's what the story is. Superman. The heart. That's what Superman is about.
It is. A lot of people lose the fact they think that not trying to get into a political spin of the whole thing, but they look at Superman and think he's not an Anglo-Saxon male. He is an immigrant. He is not from this planet.
Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him with that one. No.
And he's not from here. He's been brought here, and people lose that fact. And a lot of people that don't like Superman that are of color are like, man, he's just another white guy. I'm not going to mince words right now. He's another white guy. He's not, man. He's not
really.
You just got to.
He was created by Jewish dudes back in the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Out of World War II. So
yeah.
Like to your point with change, I'm actually scared with Thor right now. Like I didn't like Odin coming back. I want Thor to be king and keep it there.
Mm-hmm.
like a couple of years ago when he came back from the dead, he had the Odin Forest. He
Yes.
had the kingdom set up in Oklahoma.
Yes, when they were
It's
right
like the best
above.
time
Yes.
Oh,
for Thor.
yeah.
Yes.
Like it was the best time. And then Odin came back,
Back to center.
and I was like,
Back to center.
Back this in exactly.
I think, right now, like Odin's in a holding pattern right now in Thor's comic, and he's kind of like not coming back for the throne. Like he's like off to the side. They need to keep him there. They need to keep him there, and I'm tired of these issues with the hammer. He's had issues with the
I
hammer
know.
for it
Come
seems
on
like
now.
it's like I want to say like 10 years, but it's maybe like
It
7.
was 7.
Like,
But
no
it's
more
been a
issues.
long time.
No more
It's
issues
a
with the hammer.
long time. Yeah,
Like,
like
he's Thor. Like, it's his hammer.
Right. And the reason for the issues now, I'm like, let's wrap this up. Like I'm really sick of this
As
now.
much as
Like
as much
it's
as I
like
enjoyed the Jane Foster run, simply because it was
love
different.
Jane.
I enjoyed it because it was
Mhm.
different.
And Jane was
Yeah.
great.
Jane
He
was
was a great Thor.
amazing.
Yeah, it was difficult. I mean, the whole writing of her having cancer, and then every time she turned into Thor, she reset all of her treatments. It was like, man, you can't win for losing.
Killing her.
Can't
Yeah.
win for losing on that one.
Is that what they're going to do in the next Thor movie with
Love and Thunder.
I don't know.
He's probably
Don't
going to have the
know.
hammer for some point. At some point.
At some point, she's going to have it. I don't know if she want to keep it, but she's
Well,
going to have
You
it.
think she?
They just left the pieces of the hammer wherever they were. They shattered in a million pieces, and they just left it. Nobody came back for it. Come on, I've seen this hammer get shattered twice in the comics. He wrapped that thing up. Like I'm taking it with me until I get it
Well,
fixed.
he had to run from. He had to run from Hela, and it wasn't him.
But he didn't come back.
He couldn't come back.
Gotta come
He couldn't
back.
come back. He was too busy getting shocked in the neck by electricity, the god of thunder. Getting shocked in the neck.
No, man. You got to go back for that, man. You got to when you can.
Right.
Like that, like this, that's a loose end. And then it'll come back in this movie. That's how it's going to work. He already has a weapon. They have to go back to that. And that's how she has his hammer now. And the hammer is not, it's broken. It can be forged again.
Yep. All the dwarves are dead, and the one that's left don't have any hands.
Oh yeah.
They got to figure it out.
Dimitri, what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Tyrion Lannister.
Lannister.
That's what I call him.
Oh, Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage. That's the guy.
Yeah. But Jane did something that I think was possible, and she became the best Thor replacement over Eric Masterson, who was one of my favorite Marvel characters. Rest in peace, Eric Masterson. Was one of the best developed characters I've ever seen, and like it earned him his own book. I love Eric Masterson to this day.
I still have his number ones.
Ooh.
Dude, I love his run as Thor, and I loved it as Thunderstrike. He was like, his life was close to Peter Parker's. Like he didn't have any money, he was struggling. He had a kid, struggling with work, but he was like, I got to do this, and he was a great character. But not to get too sidetracked, Jane was better than he was, and Eric was really good.
Jane was good.
Eric was really good. Jane, I love Jane. I love Jane.
That's why I can't have superpowers. Because I know I would never be broke if I had superpowers.
Dude, like listen, like
I'll be rich as hell.
I can't even lie, man. What we doing? Like, am I gonna be a boxer? Am I just I'm doing so. I gotta help my family, man.
Right. I'm playing pro football, pro basketball. I'm playing all the sports.
Man, I ain't even putting my body out there. I'm investing. I'm gonna make my money work. I'm gonna be like a Professor X. I'm gonna just start changing people's minds. I'm gonna totally be a black hat with it. I'm just changing everybody's minds.
Oh, you're gonna be a mutant menace.
Yeah, that's how we do in North Carolina.
Join the right team, baby. Join the right team. We're inevitable. We are the future.
Oh, but I don't want to like not talk about this. The Resident Evil trailer. It looks
Oh
great.
It does look
yes,
good.
yes.
It looks
That's a
good.
It does
definite.
look
That's a good veer. That's a
spooky.
good veering on that one. That was
Uh,
They had the dogs, Mike. Have you seen the trailer?
They had this. I don't watch trailers, you know. I
you
give up
you
a
should
trailer.
watch this
You
one.
know the dogs that you're afraid of from
Look, that was
Resident Evil.
shit. Who wasn't scared of that scene on Resident Evil 1? If you,
Dude,
I was. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not
thank you,
gonna
man.
lie.
Resident Evil 1, when that dog hopped through that window.
Yeah, we all pooped a little
The
bit.
first
We pooped
time?
a little bit.
Yeah.
We had a little wet fart action. But they have the dogs in the trailer. And the first time I saw the dog, I watched the trailer today and I watched it and I was like, there's a dog. Mike's gonna freak.
I might check it out. I'll check it out.
I am. I think Resident Evil, the best time period for Resident Evil was in Raccoon City, and that was like, it was just like I just got all
It was pure.
nostalgic. Like the first one I
It was
played, yeah,
pure.
the first one I played was Resident Evil 2, and that was like I got on that and I beat that game.
And that was a joint with the hand
love
on
that
the
game.
on the
Yeah.
yeah. That was on the PS1.
I was able to beat that game. There was like you got some kind of secret weapon without dying or saving, and you can't use first
Wow.
aid spray. You can use herb, but you can't use the spray. You had to beat it under 2 hours. I did it once, and like I love that game. I love Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, RE is to me is one of the OG games. I mean, I know it came out in the 90s, but still is one of those things that stuck with you. I think about that system and I think about Resident Evil, I think about Tomb Raider, and I think about Metal Gear Solid. Those are the 3 games. Yeah.
For PlayStation, it would be Tenchu, Metal Gear,
Not
Twisted
Tenchu.
Metal 2,
Wow.
Resident Evil 2. And I don't know what the 5th one. Tenchu is mine. Oh my god!
Legacy of Kain and Soul Reaver will be up there.
Yeah, that's a good one too. That's a good one too. But like
Legacy
Tenchu, I used to challenge myself. Like I'm just taking one rice cake and I'm going to like I would just throw out the rice cake, and before they take the rice, I'd kill them, pick it up, and like just be. I used to love that game. Jesus, I just thought about that.
Stealth Assassins. That was a great game.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, that's rolling back the clock, man.
Yeah, and the one on what you said, Tosh, you were in like yeah. I'm trying to think. How old would you have been?
PlayStation 1, I remember. I think it was my 7th birthday.
Jeez.
How old were you in '97?
7?
I was 7. Yeah.
I was in college.
In '97.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was in college in '97.
I was Colorado Springs Air Force in '97, man. Had a 1-year-old dog.
I can't even think about how old I was. It was
Don't do math.
Hey, Tash, I didn't know you was that young, Tash. You're a baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's a baby.
Telling my age out there. Yep. I was really small, so of course I was playing games geared towards children at that time. But I did own the very first Tekken.
Ooh.
If that's any consolation, I did have that and played that, but for the most part, it was games geared towards kids my age.
Wow.
So you're rocking out Spyro.
Yes, Spyro the
she
Dragon.
She has a huge crush on Spyro.
Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Were you still mashing buttons back then the way you do
mashing
now?
buttons,
Oh my god,
Pac-Man,
you
all
can
that
hear
stuff.
mashing buttons through the microphone. Sounds like somebody like stepping on Skittles or something. Like, what is going on over there?
Oh, when I play Destiny,
Yeah, like, it was
in the
I
zone.
tried to get back in Destiny.
Oh man, it's a cult, man. Destiny's a cult.
Dude, every day I punch the clock, man. I gotta fight the darkness, man.
I wanted to have you carry me through. I think I needed one more thing to platinum Destiny 2.
What's that?
I needed to. I think it was like one of the
Grandmaster.
One of the first. What's it called? Little runs, the little things you do. The little, you know what I'm talking about.
Side mission?
Not the side mission, but the big event.
A raid?
Yeah, the big raid. There was one raid I had to do on like the hardest level, and I didn't do it.
I know somebody who'll get you through there. Like I don't raid as like I used to. Kids don't give me that much time to do that anymore. We used to raid all the time. Just don't really have the time anymore.
See, that's
Yeah, I
why.
used to raid
Up
on
to
WoW.
That's why I
3
play
a.m.
by myself. I play Spider-Man. I play, of course, I'm gonna play Uncharted, God of War. I'm back in God of War right now. I'm back in God of War mode. Got a fresh save of Horizon Zero Dawn going on. I play
I
online.
gotta get you. I gotta get you guys in the Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, word. Yeah, we've been trying to find like this multiplayer, whole bunch of people in one room trying to chop up stuff. I'd do it.
I rocked that for a while, but I played again. I played through it again.
I play with
If you guys was
I
down.
play with Rob Moore. I
Yeah.
play with him all the time. Him and Tim Carter. Right now we're playing Aliens, and that game is
I remember he mentioned
that game is nothing but bullets, man. That's all it is. It's about senseless, but it's fun. You run through. There's no real thought to it. You're just trying to kill all the aliens that you possibly can. And we have a great time doing that. We tried to play Outriders for a long time, and that game was just too broken.
Yeah.
Man, y'all were pumping that game.
I tried
Yeah,
playing.
y'all were pumping
That
one.
man, I was so mad.
Jay, you would owe me money, man. You was like leaning on me. Yeah, you should get it. You should get it. Man.
I didn't want to be the only
It
one.
was like, you ain't. You got me and Rob and Tim, and I don't even have it on my hard drive anymore. I deleted that joint. I'm like,
it looked like Mike fell asleep on us. You got sleep apnea, brother?
No, I'm good.
That was just messing.
Y'all got games I ain't played Destiny
Mike was over
ever.
here like this, like
leaned up.
I haven't played Destiny ever.
Mike's the comic dude, man. We all have.
The only game I'm playing right now is Miles Morales. I'm still, and it's gonna take me forever to beat that.
Yeah, I'm taking my time.
great
I'm
game,
taking my
man.
time on that joint for real. Anytime I play it,
great game.
I just go around beating up random thugs. That's all I do.
Have you noticed what they did? Like it was like a little, I don't want to say update or repair. You remember on Spider-Man, the first one, you can kick people off the roof and they would like fall. Now on Miles, like they web them to the wall.
They
when they
fixed
fall.
that back in the original. They fixed that back in the
I was like,
original
oh
because I
my
was kicking them
God.
off on purpose because you got an award for it.
Me too.
Yeah, you got an award for it. Yeah.
But now once you kick them off, all of a sudden they just stick to the wall. Just like, I want to splat.
Great
dude.
responsibility. Yeah.
It's a great story though. I mean,
it was. I was very happy with that game.
But we got to wait till 2023 for the next joint to come out. But that's right around the corner. Honestly, you're gonna blink and it'll be what it is.
Girl at my job said, "Oh, it's 4 weeks left in the year. Like, what's 12 weeks left?"
Oh, don't do that.
The year. I was like,
don't do
what?
that. Don't do that.
I was like, Ashley, don't do that.
Because my wife turns another year older in December, and if I hear her complain about, no, I'm just playing. She don't complain about her birthdays. She don't ever. Honey, I love you. But she ain't here. She at work. But if by chance she listens to this, I just want to let her know. If she gets this far into it, I just want to let her know. But she probably won't. But yeah, that being said, man, this is just the first of many that we're gonna, throw out there into the world, into the universe, of just us having opinions, talking about different things, and having a good time. We have 5 right now on the call. If you haven't noticed, because I know Tash is really quiet, but we have 5 on the call right now, and out of our group, we probably have a total of 10. So you're gonna get a good mix and mash of a bunch of people talking about a bunch of different things that we all really enjoy. We're all fans, we're all friends, and we all love the things that make us happy. So that being said, we're going to sign off. Anybody else got anything to say?
Shout out to Terrence and Robert, Meg, Dave, the ghost admin, and that's everybody, right?
That's pretty much it.
That's yeah, I'm looking forward to like a Full House episode.
Oh yeah,
does David talk?
Yeah,
the ghost admin.
And we got to do a reaction video with visions for the people who haven't seen it yet.
Yes, we'll talk.
There's only 2 people.
I'm gonna watch that.
Y'all do.
I'm off Saturday. I'll get to it Saturday. I'm off Saturday, so I'll check it out.
Check that out for real. Hit it up in the chat because it's amazing. I'm gonna rewatch it. I'll probably turn one on tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch it.
Fall asleep to it, something like that.
How many episodes you say it was?
9. It'll
9?
probably
And
take
they're not more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, you'll take probably 2 hours to watch all 9 of them at the most.
I'll probably get to it on Saturday. I gotta see my mom on Saturday, but
Yeah, man. Tell her we said,
it's
hey,
Friday,
man. I know she's going through some stuff.
Yeah. It's just she's doing. I checked up on her. Talked to the director the other day. She's
Okay.
doing
Word.
better there, so I'm gonna go just check her out
Word.
on Saturday. Make sure she's okay. But yeah,
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, so until next time, people, I just want to let everybody know, be kind. You never know what somebody else is going through. So until next time, this is the Multiverse Unlimited Podcast. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
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 Bye, guys.
That's the first thing I heard Tasha say all day.